about. So something slightly different. I know that Pilates does wonders for the body, but I do also know that it can be quite I suppose not stressful, but quite hard on the body if you've never done it before. There's lots of things you need to think about. You've got to think about your breathing, you've got to think about moving at the same time, and you've got to coordinate, and sometimes if you've had a hard day, like doing all of those things together is quite a challenge. So this is a stripped back version of some of those Pilates moves, and it is all about that key objective, that key focus is about giving yourself the permission to pause. So these movements, they are not static holds. You are still going to be breathing through them. Please feel free to come out of them at any time if you feel like they're putting too much stress and pressure on things like the wrists, the knees, the ankles. Come out them at any point. Obviously what we want to avoid is you feeling more stressed after it than what you did coming into it. So I would encourage to kind of give this a go of an evening, just to kind of wind yourself down. However, if you do feel like you need to take a pause at any point during the day, you can do this. A few things that you'll need your safe space as always, and then you will need, like I've rolled up a really small throw, so you could use that. You could use a yoga mat if you've got a spare one hanging around as well, and just something that's got a little bit of give to it. I wouldn't recommend a foam roller because they're quite harsh, they're quite hard, and there's not really too much give in it. So just make sure that it is something that you can kind of apply pressure, especially for your feet, onto the tops of your feet we're going to be looking at as well today. So grab your rug, your roll, whatever it is, and make sure your space is safe. Get those chilling tunes on, and let's take a pause for a sec. Okay guys, so what I'm going to get you to do is take your rolled up yoga mat or rug, and I'm going to get you to place it as close to the backs of your knees as possible. And then what I'm going to get you to do is sit down. All we're doing here is creating a little bit of space across the fronts of the thighs. Now this may be uncomfortable for the tops of the feet. I'm going to encourage you to just allow that to kind of resonate through the whole of the body. If you need to come out of it at any point, bring yourself forward. Yeah, so as always, you can take that weight forward. The more that you sit up and back, again, you will feel a little bit of tension in the calves, and bringing it forward. But if you're like me and you've got dodgy ankles, you might come out of this a little bit more repetitively than someone else, then that's fine. Good, lovely. And again, if you need to rock forward just one more time. And let's breathe out. Squeeze that mat or roller, whatever we're using. And sit up nice and tall. Good, lovely. So there'll be a lot of pauses from me today, and that's just so you can figure out what you need from this session. As always, our Pilates breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Breathing in like an accordion or a balloon. And again, don't feel like there's any pressure to do anything that I'm doing. Don't feel like because I'm sat here doing this, that you have to do this as well. It's not the case. This is your pause. So it needs to be for you. And good, lovely. Breathing out, good, lovely. Give those feet a little bit of a tap if we can. Flex those feet. Good, lovely. We're going to take that, we're going to place it just behind us. Just behind us for now. And what I'm going to get you to do is just bring those weights, or the weight, into the hands and into the feet. Now, if we can, we are going to tuck those toes, but it's really small. And let's start to just rock forward. And then rock back. Now, all I'm going to get you to do is pull the abdominals all the way up and stretch the upper back. Like you're really trying to pull your mat or whatever you're on apart. So pressing one hand in, chin in towards the chest. And you'll notice it's a slight variation of that angry cat and happy cat. So toes are tucked under if you can. Good. Now let's breathe in. We're not going to come to an extension of the spine, just breathing in. Looking forward and breathing out, chin in towards chest. Scoop the abdominals up, chin in towards the chest. Good, breathing in. I always find that if I really elevate my shoulders, if I really press my hands into the front of the mat, get this really nice stretch across the upper back. Again, it's up to you if you want to do it. Good, last time, breathing in. And take moments wherever you want to pause, wherever you want to find a little bit of a deeper stretch. Hold in any moments, but again, not holding the breath. The reason this is our Pilates in pause is because in Pilates, we allow the movement to be length of the breathing, not the other way around. If we can, just untuck those toes for me, and we're going to sit it back. Now, this is where instead of rounding the spine, we're going to keep our spine nice and lengthened. So if we can, we're going to place those elbows down like we do kind of, I suppose, single leg kick down on our front, or one leg kick, you might call it. So we're going to lift ourselves up, chin in towards the chest. Okay, so again, it's not really any particular position you need to be in. We're just going to think about finding a little bit of extension. So just breathing in and breathing out. If we can, as we breathe out, pull those abdominals back. Good. If we can, walk those hands a little bit further forward without taking your mat. Breathing in. Good, and again, you can release the neck. I don't know about you, but neck tension is a huge thing that I have at the end of the day. I'm spending so much time at a desk at the moment, which I know a lot of us are. Good, rest the head down, round the back. Good, breathing in. Find that slight extension like you would in your swan dive. Keep those hips down, press those elbows away from the floor, breathing out. Now you'll notice this will push you further back. If that's not comfortable on the feet, just don't do it. Keep it slightly bent, keep it activated, breathing out. Elbows down, forehead down. One more time. Good, breathing out. Good. Place those hands forward for me. And I'm really reaching forward. If we can, we're going to come onto the fingertips. If we need to, this is the point where we can take the weight off of the feet. If we can, keep sitting it back. Good, lovely. And just rolling those shoulders up, back and down. You can rock from side to side. You can move your hands from side to side. But just allowing these shoulders, the arms to find a little bit more space. I'm kind of creating this little, kind of like spiders, fingers. Just to give my head, my forehead a little bit more space. It also allows my arms to rotate, providing a little bit more support for the shoulders. One more breath here, wherever you are. Good, fabulous. If we can't stay here, thread the hand through, looking over. Good, now you might want to come off of the feet and give yourself a little bit more support on the head, or you can stay back here. We want to find a point where the shoulder is stretching and the weight is off of the feet if we can. Good, lovely. Pressing the hand into the floor if we can, bringing ourselves up and peeling ourselves around. And this time we're not going to come into the thread the needle, we're just going to take the hand, place it round, if we can, base of the pelvis, can be internally rotated, and we're going to press and take a little twist, pressing that hip down, keeping that inside of the elbow rotated in, press and twist. Good, breathing in, thread the hand through and then drop the shoulder down. Breath in, press, unravel, and you can give yourself a little massage here. If the back is sore, you can give yourself a little heel pressure down, getting a little bit of an extra twist. Last one, breathing in, pressing the hand down and down. Good, lovely. The other side, 3 times. Thread that hand through, and then bend the arm. Keep sliding the hand through. Press the hand down, and then bringing it back. And down somewhere beside that QL, that tight muscle, sometimes stopping our spine from moving as much as we'd like. And thread through. Then drop the shoulder. So I decided to don the more comfortable clothes. Not saying that leggings aren't comfortable, but just sometimes you just want to wear some comfies. And today was definitely one of those days. Good, lovely. I feel like I'm wearing my comfies more and more. I feel like I should just put some makeup on and do my hair and just stay in the house. But it's something different, I guess. Good, lovely. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to start to take small circles of the hips. And again, that can be what we'll call in Pilates a tail wag from side to side. A little bit of side flexion there. Or it can be just thinking about isolating and finding a little bit of space. Now, what I want you to do is rather than do what I'm doing where I'm moving the shoulders because it feels nice, you can keep those hands nice and planted. I'm going to take some small circles of the hip. Or the hips, not just one hip. I mean, technically it's one hip because it's technically all one thing. Oh, it's a pelvis, but you know what I mean. Circling round. What I want you to do is not worry about holding that abdominal tension, but just seeing if you can keep the back safe. Keep those shoulders square, nice and stable. And let's go in the opposite direction. And now this exercise, I don't really want you to think about anything else other than your breathing. And bringing this circular motion at the same time as you're breathing. So if we can, we breathe in and breathe out. So breathing in to complete half a circle. Breathe out, complete the rest. Like single leg circle. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. One more time, nice and slow. Breathing in and out. Good, lovely. Coming back to center for me, please. Tuck those toes under. Walk your hands back and do whatever you need to do. Knuckles on the floor if you need to. And we're going to place your heels down onto your towel. Now, if you have a rug like mine, you'll notice as soon as you put your heels on, it's probably going to squish down. So what I want you to do is just, if you need to, roll it up a little bit tighter, fold it up maybe, or if you're on your yoga mat, you can just roll it in your yoga mat and sit on the back of the yoga mat. And what we're going to do here, as long as knees are okay, we're going to get used to just sitting down in this position. If this position is uncomfortable, what I'm going to get you to do is use a chair or a base of support like a wall, for example. You could sit against the wall with your hips down on the floor, and that's actually quite nice as well. And what I want us to do is just take a little bit of pressure off of the fronts of the feet. Now, what I want you to do is, as we continue to breathe, just start to assess with your breathing in and with your breath out, what parts of the body you can feel. This is your pause moment. And again, we don't really want any points of stress. So if you're like, oh God, this is so uncomfortable, this is so painful, come out of it. Yeah, you can always sit your bum down on your thing that you've rolled up and hug your knees in towards your chest. Yeah, we can think about that tall, long spine. You can even close the eyes if you want to. So those are those two positions that you can find. And we're going to take 5 lovely, long, relaxing, deep breaths. So making sure you're in a position that is comfortable for you and your body. For me, parallel, nice and wide, perfect. It means I have the space to press my knees out to the side. I get a lovely stretch across the sides of the glute there. For some of you, this may not be the position for you. So let's take a nice deep breath in and out. And in. And out. And this isn't something that needs to be static. You can move, breathing in and breathing out. And all I'm getting to do in this pause is just think about how the action that you are doing is connecting to the length of your breathing. You're moving in this speed because of the length of your breathing. One more. And breathing out. Good, lovely. This time open those eyes if we can. Place those knees flat down on the floor for me. And this time we're going to have those feet slightly wider. Now internal rotation, a bit uncomfortable for some of us. Some of us are, I was going to say born lucky, unlucky. Some of us actually have more internal rotation than external rotation, which makes life as a dancer really, really hard. Anyway, personal story. So what I'm going to get you to do is sit down on the roller, or keep saying roller, but you know what I mean, the thing that you've rolled up. If it's too uncomfortable, what I want you to do is take your feet flat on the floor and place your hands, and we've got quite a bit of weight in the hands. And we're really increasing the, I suppose, the angle of the hip flexion. So we're really keeping our chest nice and close towards the knees. You'll feel that across the fronts of the thighs in towards the hip joint. Yeah, but it takes away from the pain in the feet. Okay, obviously if we feel comfortable to do so, that weight is going to be on the tops. And we're going to see if we can sit down. Now we all know someone who can sit back in this, right? We all know someone who can do that. I mean, that is not me, because of those angles like I was talking about before. But wherever we are, finding the position that works for you. And breathing out. One more breath in. And breathing out. Good, lovely, nice and short. Good, fabulous. And what I want you to do is just bring those feet together, and I'm just going to get you to tap those heels together. Let's call it Dorothy. tap those heels together. Good, lovely. Keep tapping. Let those legs relax. Fabulous. And just moving your rolled up blanket, whatever we've used, ever so slightly back. Now we're going to slide that hand forward. And we're kind of coming into swimming, but doing all of the things that I'm not going to normally let you do. So you're going to allow the shoulder blades to dip, keep the abdominals nice and still, and you're going to keep reaching forward. Good, lovely. Breathing in to press. Slide it forward, reach. Find that space between the hip and the armpit. I normally say rib, but I really want you to find that stretch. If we can, we're going to think about taking a little lift of the head and rolling of the ear. Breathing out. And out. As we do this one more time, just notice what has evolved for you in this movement. Is it the dipping down? Is it the reaching forward? Is it the little head roll from side to side? Good. Fabulous. Nice. From there, I just want you to take one foot back for me, and we're going to stretch that leg back as we look forward. A variation of leg pull front. Good. Breathing in. Press those hands into the floor. Last time. Breathing in. And breathing out. Reverse. Bring your focus back towards your hands. Step that knee in. Extend the other leg back. Press the heel back. Find that space. Lift through the chest. Good. Breathing in. Press those hands into the floor for me. Breathing in. Breathing out. Bring it back. Good, lovely. If we can, we're going to take the weight onto the knees, and we're just going to take a little swing from side to side. Now, of course, you can keep those feet flat on the floor. You can, of course, do this lying down on the floor as well. And what I'm going to encourage you to do is allow those shoulders to move forward and back. Allow the head to go towards the feet, and we can keep this quite relaxed. You go at your own pace. Good, now keep moving, but keep those shoulders still. Notice if your head can still go, or whether you need to keep it still. Good, breathing in. Really focus on keeping those shoulders still. One more. Good, fabulous. Bring yourself down onto your side for me. Good, this is where your rolled up item will come in handy. If you'd like to, place it down on the side that you're lying on. Top leg is going to be straight, underneath leg is going to be bent. What I want you to do is take a lift up of that top leg. Now it's going to be quite free. I'm going to call this wiggly woo. Okay, so we're going to drop the knee in and then open the knee out. So we're keeping that body side lying. That leg is kind of staying in a loose tabletop. We drop the knee in and then we open it out. Good, lovely. Place this hand wherever you feel it is comfortable. Drop the knee in and open out. Bit of a creative one this, because your chest kind of stays still but your hip drops. Good, lovely. One more time, drop it in and extend out. Fabulous. If we can, we're going to extend and turn it in and then step that leg back. Now, this leg is going to act as a base of support, so really ground it down into the floor, reaching that leg back. If we can, reaching that arm forward. You're going to rotate towards your mat or your rolled object. Reach, and then if we can, we're going to lift up and look towards the hand. Good, lovely. From there, I'm going to bend that leg in. Pull your chin in towards your chest. Hold onto your knee, shin or foot, and pull it in. This variation of a bicycle on the side. Pull the heel back, reach that arm forward, lift it up, keep that hand nice and relaxed, pull it in, knee comes in, grab a hold of that foot if we can, and breathing out, pulling it in. Good, fabulous. From there, placing that down, and again you can leave that there if you'd like to, resting your head down. We should find ourselves this nice little twist, sorting yourself out. I'm going to take 3 breaths here. Again, it's static, but the breath is still moving, the move is still active. Breathing in, you might find your ribcage rotating, and as you breathe out, it'll melt down. You might find that your knee rolls, and then as you breathe out, your shoulder comes back. You'll notice both legs are bent, and that's for you to get the full variation in terms of your breath, rather than thinking that your leg has to be straight, and then you've got lots of tension in that glute. Good, rocking forward and back with the head. And out. Lovely. Bringing ourselves back. We're going to sweep that arm around, bring both hands down, and sit ourselves up. Good, lovely. Before we change sides, I'm just going to bring you to a seated position. Now, this can be any seated position. It could be feet flat if you want it to be. It's just about getting a little bit of movement in the spine. If you want to, feel free, cross the feet, put the feet on your ruled object. Okay. So we're going to lift our chest up nice and tall. And I like calling this stir in the pot. So we're going to round it back. Lift it up. And for the first few, don't need to worry too much about what the sit bones are doing. Good, lovely. Now let's start to think about grounding those sit bones down. Can you press? Don't worry about the knees abducting or adducting, coming in and out. One more time. Pressing it back. Sit bones grounded. Good, lovely. If we can, press that rolled object forward. Chin in towards chest, breathing in. And nice seated roll down, breathing out. Good. This time we're going to breathe in, pull those arms all the way in. And take those arms up, slightly bent, breathing out. Good. Flip those hands, breathing in. Like a wave crashing. But the beautiful thing about a crashing wave is that it comes to a nice sort of stillness, a nice calm at the bottom. Breathing in. And breathing out. Last one, breathing in. And breathing out. Good, staying here. Whether your hands are by your knees or down by your feet. We're going to take one hand across, and it kind of feels like we're swimming, but I want to keep this emphasis of the crashing of the waves down towards the opposite ankle, knee, or shin. One more time. Good, lovely. Bringing yourself up to seated, bringing your weight back and just stepping those feet in and hovering those feet. Now we're just going to rock back and forward. Back and forward. Now if you'd like to, bringing it back, roll it back. And up. A little bit more relaxed than a rolling like a ball, because you can pull those knees in towards the chest. But the rules apply for your head staying off of the floor, breathing in. Last one. Good, lovely. On the other side for that side lying position. Right, lengthen that top leg for me. And really lengthen it. Like, don't worry that the hips have lifted. We kind of want to aim for that kind of, I suppose, stacking of hips. But if you'd like to, lengthen it. Lift that leg. Bring it in. And out. Good, lovely. Bring it in. And out. This is kind of like, I suppose, like a thread the needle, going in and out. It's not really a figure of 8. Bring it in and out. Good. 2 more. And your hips are allowed to move. It's not as strict as Pilates when we come to side lying. Good, lovely. Bring it in. Open it out. Lengthen it out for me. Turn the leg in. Set that leg ever so slightly back. Okay, and remember again, that leg stays nice and grounded. Find that stretch across the front of the hip, right into that front pocket. Lengthen, reach that top arm, roll towards your rolled object that you're lying on. And if we can, lift past towards that hand, pull the knee in, grab a hold of the back of the thigh, the knee, or the foot, and then press it back. Good, pulling it in, and so this, I kind of stole it from, well, I didn't steal it, I made it, but it kind of gave me this image of single leg stretch. Like if single leg stretch was actually a stretch, what would it look like? And for me, this is it. Good, lovely, bringing it down. And if we can, bring ourselves down onto our back. Okay, final one. Okay, if we can, shoulder bridge. Now you'll notice we have something under the head, so we're not going to roll as high up. We're going to just bring our hips ever so slightly, keep that pressure on the head. And what I'm going to get us to do is drop one hip down, lift it up, drop the other hip down. Feet are staying flat, knees can kind of drift. Again, if the pressure on the head is too much, please remove the rolled up object. Breathing in and breathing out. One more time, breathing in and out. Good, fabulous. From there, if we can, take those arms up and overhead, resting them down. Fingertips down on the floor if you can. Pull in the fingertips away and rolling yourself down, shoulder bridge style. Lengthen those legs slightly wider, chin in towards chest, and then just bring those arms out to the side. From there, just flex and point the feet, allowing the back of the neck to really rest. Take a breath in and a breath out. 3 more breaths here for your pause. This pause can be longer, it can be shorter. Last one, breathing in and out. Good, lovely, you can stay there. If you need to bring yourself up to a seated position again, please roll yourself over onto your side. And whenever you are ready to, stay there as long as you need. Bring yourself up to a comfortable seated position, whatever that may be for you today. Hands on those shoulders, just shoulders on those knees, and just as always, roll those shoulders back for 3, 2, and 1. All right, well done. So it's a new type of Pilates that I'm going to be trying out. I think it's something that we all need a little bit more, myself included. So Pilates and pause will become a series at some point. So if you liked this video, do let me know the bits that you liked, and whether you liked those points where you held those moves statically, but you were still breathing nice and actively, you were still moving. Let me know which moves you liked, let me know which moves worked for you, and let me know how you're feeling. Yeah, so hopefully we feel a little bit more either energized if we've used this in the beginning or the middle of our day, and if we've used it towards the end, hopefully we feel like we are ready to just fully give in to a decent sleep. So thank you so much for joining me, and I'll hope to see you all again soon.